Hey, thank y'all for checking out the video. Don't forget to check us out on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And don't forget, like, subscribe, and share. I'll let you get back to it.
To bind his princes at his pleasure and teach his senators wisdom.
Joseph taught the Egyptian senators wisdom. They learned from our forefathers.
Right.
Our father Abraham taught them arithmetic when you read the history books. So our history is way more greater than the Egyptian history.
That's right.
Y'all just trying to teach me discernment.
It also goes into discernment, but it's also about the difference between them and us.
Yeah.
What God gave us and what He gave them.
Right.
He gave them something different than what He gave us. Hold that and give me Lamentation chapter 4, verse 3. See, when we read in about learning their ways, we learned their ways back then, and we still learn them today. We still learn them today, even with Christianity. That's their ways. That ain't our ways. But we are identified with that more than that because we see that's a white man behind that. But we don't see the hypocrisy and all of the evil that's behind that. We don't know the history between the 18th dynasty and on forth when our people were slaves.
Right.
From the different pharaohs. How the pharaohs will bury the Hebrew slaves with them when they died.
Wake them up.
They don't teach us that history.
Right.
They don't tell us about that history.
Right.
But they want us to believe that we those people. No, them people didn't care about us.
Right.
We got to start to learn and do our own research when people just give us anything. Read this.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 17.
Give me that.
As for us, our eyes as yet fail for our vain help.
Lamentations chapter 4 and start at verse 1.
Lamentations chapter 4, verse 1. How is the gold become dim? How is the most fine gold changed?
God says, how has the most fine gold become dim? When gold becomes dim, what happened to it?
White gold.
No, we ain't talking about white gold. We talking about regular gold. How does it become dim? How does a piece of gold that was once shiny become dim? What happens to it?
It get tarnished.
It get tarnished.
Yeah.
It gets used. It gets swept on. It get abused.
Yeah.
It gets forgotten about.
Once man touch it, he destroyed.
Yeah. So God says that fine gold became what? Read it again.
How is the gold become dim? How is the most fine gold changed?
God said the most fine gold was changed. Now let's see what gold he's talking about. Read.
The stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street. The precious sons of Zion.
Who?
Zion. Zion.
Again, right?
The precious son of Zion.
The precious sons of Zion are the gold that he's talking about in verse 1. We are the gold that's walking around in these streets that's dim. Because we following after all of these philosophies, we following after Egyptology. Now let me ask you a question. What has Egyptology done for us as a people?
It just brought certain people together.
It brought certain people together to do what? And in the Egyptology, in the conscious community, what happens? All they want to do is sell you oils and butters. They want to sell you Egyptian musk. They got their own little table set out. It's a profit for their own.
I follow Dr. Sebi too.
You follow Dr. Sebi?
Yeah.
Dr. Sebi wasn't no Egyptology. And he didn't have really no religion. He was based off of eating. That's all he really taught. But guess what? God has a dietary law for us. We ain't got to just only eat what he called electric foods, alkaline foods.
Like Dr. Sebi said, what were we eating before they put meat in the Bible? He said that.
He was eating all fruits.
Right.
All fruits. But guess what? Fruit is not just.
So why did they put meat in the Bible? It's not
Because God ordained it. That's why.
Okay.
God ordained it.
See, that's why I have a fight with my mind to believe that.
We gotta. Well, this is the thing. Get Colossians chapter 2, verse 8. I'm gonna show you what it is with Dr. Sebi. He had his own doctrine. But guess what?
That's one of my idols.
But guess what? He wasn't following what God said to do either.
He was sitting on the earth. With
He was.
the medicine God put on the earth.
He was.
The earth give you everything to get it yourself.
He was doing that, but that's not all. Hold that. Give me Jeremiah chapter 7, I think, and verse 13. I'm going to show you what he did. Where it say, heal my people slightly. You know what I want?
You don't believe he was a prophet?
No, I don't believe he was a prophet. I believe he healed people with the herbs on earth, and and that was his purpose. But do I believe he was a prophet? No, he wasn't a prophet, because a prophet is going to speak God's word.
He smoked weed too.
Yeah, he smoked weed. God said, don't defile your temple.
And if somebody doing something for a good cause, healing the land or whatever, just because they not a Hebrew Israelite, y'all don't.
No, that's not what we're saying. I'm not negating nothing that he did. What he did was helpful to our people. He helped a lot of different. I'm not taking that from him.
But you said he was a man of God to me.
He was a man, but okay.
Just because he wasn't following that, y'all.
Let me ask you a question. Hold on. See, now we getting down to the nitty gritty of it. What is a man of God? What does God say a man of God is? Because I can't go off how I feel. You can't go off what you feel. It's based off of what God says. So if you said he was a man of God, we have to have some kind of structure, some kind of rubric, some kind of guidelines to go off to say he's a man of God.
Even against the evil forces, you talk about like big form.
Okay.
So like them trying to treat the sickness, not the sickness.
Okay.
So he went against the evil forces and he brought his patients to court.
Okay.
To testify on his behalf.
And that's a part of it. So that's why I'm saying I can't knock what he did, because that's a part of it, but it's not everything though. I want you to listen to this. Read this.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 8, verse 11. For they have healed the hurt of the daughter of my people slightly.
You see that? Slightly. That's not full. That's not the whole thing.
Right. He couldn't do everything.
He can't do everything. He can't. But I'm not blaming him for that. But guess what? It was certain things that he wasn't privy of.
Right.
Certain things he wasn't taught. He had a piece of it, and the piece that he had, he used it to help his people. Wow. We not negating that. But the full thing is right here. Because guess what? If you eating right, you taking care of your body, but spiritually you going out and you whoremongering with women. You're a murderer.
Teach.
You smoking weed.
Teach.
What you mean murder? Well, you kill people.
Who was doing that though?
Oh, hatred. Our people. I'm just speaking in general. I'm not saying he did that. Okay. I'm just saying if he had one piece, but if you doing other things, you don't have the whole thing. You see what I mean? Like, he can heal people, but on the other side, he was a whoremonger.
Nobody ain't no saint, brother.
We're not making the excuses for nobody. Okay. Guess what? Give me Matthew chapter 5, verse 48.
Bring it up.
We ain't making no excuses for nobody. We not playing no fields. All we going off is the word of God. Okay. Nobody is perfect. But guess what? You got to strive to be perfect.
Right.
And when striving to be perfect, there are steps and guidelines to do.
Right.
This is what God said to do, though. Read this.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 48. Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect.
Now, you might say that's something hard to do. It might be hard to be perfect, but it's not. Psalms 19, verse 7. Perfect. You know what the worldly perfection is? You never mess up. You never make no mistakes. You got to get everything 100% right all of the time. Right. That's not in the Bible. Right. That's not how God operates. I'm going to show you what makes you perfect, though. Read this.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's not how Dr. Sibley is supposed to operate. He played his part. He healed people and stuff. And it's still going on to this day. They following his legacy.
Of course.
See what I mean?
But it's not, he healed them slightly. Because guess what? Those people, they don't know who they are. They still thinking that wherever he helped, they still think they African American. Who gave us the term African American? Jesse Jackson. What was we called before then? Afro American.
Right.
Negro and colored.
Right.
So these people, they might be healed physically, but spiritually, they don't know who they are.
Still 6 feet.
They still missing a piece. They was only healed slightly. That's the point we're trying to make.
I see what you're saying.
So now, watch this. Read this.
The book of Psalm, chapter 19, verse 7. The law of the Lord is perfect.
God says the law of the Lord is perfect. Now, listen to this part. Read.
Converting the soul.
How do the laws convert your soul? Because when you find out that you're not supposed to be doing something, when the law says thou shalt not steal and you a thief, that convict you. A lot of people don't like to deal with the Bible because it's very straightforward, and a lot of people don't like correction.
Right.
You ever notice in the black community? Accountability.
Right.
You know, a lot of people in the black community, as soon as you tell them about yourself, they won't fight, or they won't argue, or they get defensive.
Right.
Instead of examining themselves like, damn, do I really have that problem? How do I fix it? Because the Bible is only about getting better.
Right.
It's all about being coming to be a perfect man.
Another thing, when they see themselves in you, they get mad too because it's something. If they get mad, it's something they don't want to see in themselves.
Exactly. Exactly. That's all it is. So read this again.
The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure.
You know why I say the testimony of the Lord is sure? When something is sure, like when you ever built something before? Okay, the perfect example. So after when you put the rebar down and the concrete man come out and y'all smoothing it out, making sure it's even and all of that stuff, and then after y'all put it down and it's dry, y'all say, damn, that's sure. That's good. That's solid right there. When a car go on that, it ain't gonna get no cracks. Right. It ain't gonna sink. The same thing with God saying with His testimonies. Read it again.
The testimony of the Lord is sure.
The testimony of the Lord is sure. Just like that concrete, when you pour it the right way, when you finish it and you put all this stuff down the way it go, the same thing with God's commandments. When you apply them how you're supposed to, the testimonies are sure. Read it again.
The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple.
It make the simple-minded people wise.
Right.
Because it's wisdom in God's word.
Right.
Why do you think God said a man ain't supposed to sleep around with a whole bunch of women? Just think, why would He say something like that?
To spread his fruit, like
No.
not to put your eggs in one basket.
No, that's not what I asked. I asked, why do you think He said not to do that? Give me 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 2. He said not to have multiple women. He said not to sleep around with whoremongers.
Why when they outnumber us 3 to 1?
Okay, that might be a valid point, but I'm asking you, if that's the case, why would He say not to do that? If that's the case, if they 3 to 1, why would God say not to have multiple women versus having multiple women?
See, that's why I believe it's marriage, because it goes against.
It's not marriage.
It goes against human nature.
It don't go against human nature. You know what our human nature is? To kill each other and to rob each other. Huh? Yes, with one woman. With one woman.
Right.
Because guess what? If you can't manage one woman, how you gonna take care of 3?
You gotta manage that one first.
God says you gotta take care of one. God says to have one woman. In time, in the kingdom, we gonna have more than one woman, but not so right now. Because guess what? Our minds ain't right now. I'm gonna show you something. Read this.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 2. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife.
Now, what's fornication? Give me no hordes of Israel. What's fornication?
When you sleep with somebody else's wife.
Fornication is a sexual sin. I want you to show you. I want you to see why God says a man not supposed to have multiple women. Because guess what? When a man has 2 or 3 women, guess what? Watch what happens. Read this.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23, verse 17. There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel.
God said there shall be no whores of the daughters of Israel. Read.
Nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel.
Read.
Thou shalt not bring the hire of a...
All right, that's it. So God says no whores of the daughter of Israel. When you sleep with a woman, right, and she not your wife, she just your girlfriend, and 2-3 months down the line, you say, you know what? I don't want to deal with her no more. I'm going to go get me another one. So now you left her and you going to sleep with another one.
Wow. It could be the same thing.
Now, peep game. You're not the only man that think like that. Another man knocking 4-5 down at the same time too. But guess what? Hold on.
Because America taught us jealousy, or taught the women jealousy, envy, and hatred.
America taught that to black men too.
Right.
Yeah, but see in that.
Revelations 11 and 8.
Yeah, but see the women can't come together because they was taught envy, jealousy, and hate. That's why in Africa you see men with more than one wife because they don't even know what that is.
And guess what?
More than one woman come together as unity. It take a village to raise a child.
Okay, but I want you to understand something. That's African customs. And guess what? A lot of times them Africans, they abuse their women.
Right.
See, a lot of people like to make it seem like it's all good, but most of the time when men want multiple women, it's only to use them women. They ain't got no jobs and they're not taking care of them women. They knocking them down and they're not taking care of them. I want you to listen to this. It's a reason why God said a man ain't supposed to have multiple women. The land will be defiled. Why do you think the STD rate so high out here? Because everybody's sleeping with everybody. It ain't supposed to be that way. Read this.
The book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is
It's what?
which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
You know why America is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt? Because of the sodomy. The lesbian rape, the LGBTQ community.
Right.
How old are you? You 32. Okay. When you was in high school, did they have an LGBT community? Hell no. That's something added. Why? Because
That's labels, like I'm telling you, that's all a label.
It's
we fall on the
it's a labels.
They conquer and divide us.
It's no listen.
Labels divide us.
No. Listen. It's labels for wickedness.
I know.
Because a woman ain't supposed to lay with a woman. That's unnatural.
Right.
A man ain't supposed to chop his penis off and grow breasts. That's unnatural.
Right.
So every time they come out with a label, it divides us more.
It's not about dividing us. It's about the wickedness in our lust.
That's right.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can review all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
It's spiritual. They don't want us to keep God's commandments.
Right.
They don't want black women with black men.
I know that.
Just like they took the black men out of the community by giving the black women what's the word I'm looking for? They gave them the opportunity to have money without the man. So if you had a man, you couldn't have the money. So they had to choose. Either I'm gonna choose my man, or I'm gonna choose the money.
Welfare.
And most of them chose the money.
Right.
And they made it seem like black men didn't want to be in the household. It was a divide and conquer. Because guess what? Coming out of slavery, the black man and the black woman, we was together. We built Black Wall Street. The women worked back then, and the men worked, and it wasn't a problem. It's all of a sudden now in 2026, black women don't want to work. They don't want to work with each other. It's all wickedness to divide and conquer us spiritually. What I had to get? Read that again.
The book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
Now give me that in Psalms 110 and 11, I think. Give me that. I want to show you because it says, because like you say, right, we was taught a lot of different things. We got to cleanse our mind from all of that stuff. We got to wash our, America ain't taught us nothing but wickedness.
I know.
Everything that we've learned is taught from America to be wicked. When you grow up, what they say, I ain't worried about nobody but me. I got to get it how I live. Get rich or die trying. And guess what? When we sell drugs to our own people. We sell drugs in the same communities that we live in. And when white people come around, we act like we don't see them. Bloods and Crips was a gang that was a force to protect us. And when they put drugs in the community, they changed that up on us. Read that, you know what I want?
The Psalms chapter 111, verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
When you begin to fear God, you begin to gain wisdom. That's the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. Read.
A good understanding have all they that do his commandments.
When you begin to keep God's commandments, you get a good understanding on the Bible and everything else in life. When you read the Bible and you go out in life, you begin to see the things that's in the Bible.
Right.
The world becomes life to you. Watch this. I'm going to show you something. Give me Proverbs chapter 7, verse 10. And give me that where it says, how shall a young man cleanse his ways? I'm going to give you a perfect example of how you can read the Bible and you can see it today now. Proverbs 7 and read verse... No, let me see. It's Proverbs 7. Let me see. I want you to listen to this.
I can say one more thing.
Go ahead.
Another thing, if you know that the people that's evil got control over all the technology and all this, don't you think they could kind of mimic it and put revelations in the Bible to make it look like what's happening on this earth is mentioned in the Bible?
Nope.
See what I mean?
Because they got their own demise in this Bible. They got their own destruction in this Bible.
Well, the saint killing them, you see the saint taking them.
God got their destruction in the Bible. They couldn't have wrote this because they would have wrote their own destruction.
Wow.
Historians know that Esau in the Bible is going to be destroyed. In the Bible, when you read Isaiah chapter 14, Revelation chapter 13, these people right here, They going into chains. That's in the Bible. That's prophecy.
Are they trying to go to the moon and all?
No, that's why they don't want us to wake up.
Right.
That's why they got us out here following Egyptology.
Right.
They're saying that we African Americans and Dominicans and Hispanics
Right.
and Mexicans. They divided our names.
Ladies, that's ladies.
But guess what? God calls us the 12 tribes of Israel. That's who we are. They never taught us that in the Christian church, and they never taught us that. But guess what? They know. They locked our history up and put it in a book, and they pass it down to their grandfathers and their grandsons to show them not to let these people know who they are, because when they do, they gonna rise up and take over everything. It's in their history.
And you ain't lying, because the only place I ever seen y'all at was on YouTube.
And guess what? They monitor. That's why we got to come to the chief place of our people.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 7 and verse 5. That they may keep thee from the strange woman, from the stranger which flattereth with her words.
It said the stranger that's going to flatter you with her words. You know women got game too. You know they got some women that'll get it out you. And guess what? They got some women that got STDs and they sleeping with men without protection just to give them that. Because guess what? That man got a whoremonger spirit. He gonna knock it down and she know it and she gonna give it to him. Read on. They said to keep you from a woman that's gonna flatter you with your lips. Read, with her lips, read.
Verse 6. For at the window of my house I look through my casement.
So this is Solomon. King Solomon said, I'm looking out my window at this. Listen to the scenario. He looking out his window, read.
And beheld among the simple ones.
He said, I seen this, he's simple as hell. This nigga dumb. He don't even know what's about to happen to him. Solomon looking at him, read.
I discerned among the youths.
He said, I discerned among the youth, read.
A young man void of understanding.
He said, he don't know nothing. He a young man and he void of understanding, read.
Passing through the street near her corner, and he went the way to her house. And in the twilight, and in the evening, in the black and dark night, and behold, there met him a woman with the attire of an harlot.
He said he was, first of all, he didn't have no discernment. He was young and he was void of understanding. So guess what? That woman that flattered with her lips, she caught him. In the dark at night. What happens at nighttime in the clubs? With the streetwalkers. And they already know that men is lusting. They looking for something. That's how they get trapped up. Read on.
In subtle of heart.
In subtle of heart. In subtle of, meaning she know how to talk to him. She has smooth words. Read.
She is loud and stubborn. Her feet abide not in her house.
It says she not never at home. She not never at home. Read.
Now is she without, now in the streets, and lieth in wait at every corner.
She lying at wait at every corner. So guess what? God gives you the information. If you pay attention, God say, look, she loud and stubborn. She got the attire of a harlot. She ain't never at home. But the simple and void of understanding gonna fall for the trap every single time.
Right.
Now watch this. Go to Psalms chapter 1. Well, go to Psalms now. Now watch. Listen to this.
The book of Psalms, chapter 119 and verse 9. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way?
How shall a young man cleanse his ways from all of the filth that he's been taught in America? All the lies that we've been taught in America. How can a young man cleanse his mind? Read.
By taking heed thereto according to thy word.
You gotta take heed according to God's word. You gotta take heed according to God's word. Because guess what? Ain't no other book teaching us about this. Ain't no other, the Quran ain't telling black people that they the Israelites. The Quran ain't saying that because we broke God's commandments, our ancestors came over here on slave ships. The Quran ain't teaching that.
They don't teach about that woman.
They ain't know. Because guess what? Muhammad learned from us.
Yeah.
He got the Quran based off us. They got it from us. Every religion steal from the Bible and they twist it up and mumble and give it to our people. But guess what? It's watered down. And the pastors, they teaching the same doctrine as this. Read it again.
The book of Psalms, chapter 119 and verse 9.
Bring it up.
Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed thereto according to thy word.
Yes, sir. So God says you got to take heed according to his word. But guess what? We can't walk around saying that we African American and that we black. That's not who we are. That's not, God never called it. You won't find African American in the Bible. Well, that's your skin. The melanin is what makes your skin black. That's all that is.
Identify with no.
But God says we are the Israelites. That's your nationality. That's who we are.
Right.
We don't deal with skin color because guess what? They got the so-called Mexicans that's light skinned. They Israelites. It don't go by skin color. It go by the seed. It go by the nationality.
How y'all found that name though, Israelites? Like what they?
Genesis 32. It's in the Bible. Read this.
Verse 27, and he said unto him, what is thy name? And he said, Jacob.
So this is our forefather Jacob. He was wrestling with an angel. His name was Jacob. Matter of fact, jump up to read verse 26.
Verse 26, and he said, let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me.
So guess what? Jacob wrestling with the angel. The angel said, let me go. Jacob said, no, not until you bless me. You got to give me a blessing first. Read.
Verse 27, and he said unto him, what is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast thou power with God, and with men hast thou prevailed.
So God changed Jacob's name to Israel, meaning a prince that has power with God. So our surname is Israel. We are princes and princesses that have power with God. That's what the name Israel means. But guess what? Our power is in keeping God's commandments. You understand? Like, so we can have the name means prince that has power with God, but the connection is keeping the commandments.
Right.
That's how you keep your power.
That's how you keep your power. We lost our power.
I see how we lost.
Look at our communities. Just we was in the other town. What we was at last week?
You don't see this in the white communities.
No, you don't. If you go to by LS, you don't see no. No, come on, man. They ain't got that around now. You can't get no taco vodka for a 2 for the $5 over there.
I'll find you for this treasure.
No, come on. But guess what? We won't do nothing in our community to pick it up. We'll see it and walk past it. We'll take out a cigarillo, throw all the guts on the street and walk like it ain't nothing. That's us. That's what we do. So we can't hold nobody accountable for nobody else but us. Because guess what? It's our fault that we got put in this predicament. We made this mess. That's why we out here trying to fix it. But guess what? It starts with one. 2 Ezra chapter 14, verse 13. It starts with you. Because guess what? These laws is what's going to fix the community. These laws is what's going to change the mind. Some people going to see this and say, a lot of our people don't want accountability. They don't want to be taught and they don't want to learn. They don't want to grow. They find where they at, and that's what we got to leave them where we at. From what? Very good. Oh, you know where that's at? Okay. So guess what? It's not a coincidence. You need to start coming to the school. You need to start learning this history.
Because none of my people know about this out there.
Of course they don't. It wasn't ever taught. It damn sure wasn't taught in the Christian church. Because guess what? All they teaching is make sure you pay your tithes.
Yep.
And guess what? We ain't even supposed to be paying tithes. That's why I told your mom she could have stayed on the phone because she would have learned something. I'm pretty sure your mom paid tithes, right?
Yeah.
You got to pay 10%, right?
Yeah.
10% of her income. But what is a tithe?
Money?
No, it ain't money. Tithing was never money. Read 2 Ezra first.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 14 and verse 13. Now therefore, set thine house in order.
I said first we got to set our house in order. So it starts with us. Setting our house in order means what? We got to sit down. We got to study. We got to change ourselves first. And a lot of times we get information, we want to try to teach people and we ain't fixed ourselves yet. So we got to fix ourselves first. Get ourselves in order, read.
And reprove thy people.
Then we can come out here and correct our people. But we don't want to be hypocrites. I can't be out here telling you not to smoke weed and then when I come out, I got a job. I'm not never a cigarette.
I told you earlier I was being a hypocrite, but I accepted that accountability.
Listen, that's the first part of it. Self-examination is the first part.
Across the earth, the prophets move. From city streets to distant lands, the message is the same. Israel must rise. Through every quest, every journey, the truth spreads. No border can contain it. No distance can silence it. Our nation lives in every moment. In joy, we celebrate marriages. In sorrow, we honor our dead. On the Sabbath, we gather as one. Families rejoicing together, bound by the commandments of God. Yet are we tried. From the stones in Kenya to the hatred in Montana, we endure as a soldier of the Lord. And still, the mission expands. On the airwaves, on the screens, in every nation under heaven, Israel's voice is heard. We build our communities. We raise our children in royalty. We restore what was broken. We clean what was defiled. We show the world who we are. This is Israel united in Christ. Nation in motion. Nation endures.